2:45 p.m. on November 3, 2011 in Japan, an emergency earthquake warning was suddenly issued. Just 5 minutes later, the ground began to shake violently, and buildings started to sway intensely. People panicked as the earthquake was extremely strong, and objects began to topple over. Everyone started to flee in all directions, desperately searching for a safe place to take cover. This was recorded as the strongest earthquake in Japan. About 15 minutes later, a tsunami warning was issued. Everyone still in areas near the sea or in low-lying locations quickly moved to higher ground. In the low-lying areas, seawater had already flooded into the city, and in higher places with seawalls, the water was also beginning to seep through. The water began to sweep away cars. Oh my God, what a terrifying scene. According to footage captured by a local resident's camera at the coastal area, the tsunami is crashing in with overwhelming force, engulfing cars in an instant and sweeping away ships as if they were mere toys. The tsunami's destruction is merciless, leaving nothing in its path untouched, creating a haunting and tragic spectacle. From a different angle of the disaster area, the scale of the devastation becomes even more apparent. The powerful surge of water has swept away entire houses, leaving behind a scene of utter ruin and despair. The water level continued to rise and flow with increasing force. To the powerful current, cars and houses appeared as mere toys being swept away mercilessly. It was fortunate that the residents in the area had managed to move to higher ground in time. They watched helplessly as the floodwaters slowly advanced, destroying their homes. The sound of anguished cries filled the air. In a nearby area, residents are still fleeing from the devastating flood. Panicked cries are heard everywhere. To address the emergency, the military has been deployed to assist in the swift and efficient evacuation of the population. At this moment, the national television station has temporarily suspended its regular programming to provide continuous updates on the ongoing situation. Prime Minister Naoto Kan announced that the government had mobilized the Japan Self-Defense Forces to assist in various earthquake-affected areas. He urged the Japanese public to remain calm, act responsibly, and stay updated through multiple media channels. The Prime Minister also reported that several nuclear power plants had been shut down proactively to prevent damage and radioactive leaks. Additionally, he established an emergency command unit to coordinate the government's response. Temporary shelters are facing shortages of drinking water, food, blankets, and sanitation facilities. The government is working to address these deficiencies by dispatching essential supplies as quickly as possible from various regions within Japan and from abroad. The damage to electrical and gas lines has exacerbated issues at the shelters due to falling temperatures. As of March 17th, a total of 336,521 Japanese individuals had been displaced from their homes and relocated to 2,367 shelters. The National Police Agency of Japan has officially confirmed that there are 15,893 fatalities, 6,152 injuries, and 2,572 people missing across 18 prefectures in Japan. Over 125,000 residential buildings have been damaged or completely destroyed. The earthquake and tsunami have caused extensive damage across the country, including severe damage to road and rail infrastructure, fires in multiple areas, and a breached dam. Approximately 4.4 million households are without electricity, and 1.5 million households are without water. Many power plants have ceased operations, and at least 3 reactor explosions due to hydrogen leaks have occurred at reactor storage facilities due to a complete failure of the cooling systems. On March 18th, Yukiya Amano, the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, stated that the crisis was extremely serious. Residents within a 20-kilometer radius of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant and 10 kilometers of the Fukushima Daini nuclear plant have been required to evacuate. Additionally, the U.S. government has advised its citizens to evacuate to at least 80 kilometers away from the nuclear plants. On March 14th, Kyoto News reported that 2,000 bodies of victims had been found along the coastline of Miyagi Prefecture. There were reports of 4 trains carrying an undetermined number of passengers that had disappeared in the tsunami-affected coastal areas. One of the trains on the Sensaki line was found in the morning, derailed. All passengers on board were rescued by police helicopters. Later, Der Spiegel magazine reported that 5 missing trains in Miyagi Prefecture had been located, with all passengers safe. However, this information has not been confirmed by local sources. Up to 100,000 children had to leave their homes, with some being separated from their families, and thousands of children became orphans. More than 121,778 buildings were completely destroyed. 280,926 buildings were partially destroyed, and 699,180 other buildings were damaged. Many people were forced to leave their homes, bearing extreme sorrow from losing loved ones and permanent loss of their homes. Approximately 230,000 cars and trucks were damaged or destroyed, generating around 25 million tons of rubble and debris. The Japanese government estimates that the direct financial damage amounted to about 16.9 trillion yen, 199 billion USD, while the World Bank estimates the total cost could reach up to 235 billion USD, making it the most costly natural disaster in world history. According to a 2020 study, the earthquake and its aftermath reduced Japan's real GDP growth by 0.47% in the year following the disaster. Recognizing the impossibility of preventing natural events, Japan has implemented measures ranging from architectural designs to public awareness to learn how to live with earthquakes and respond when disasters occur. In Japan, all new constructions must adhere to strict regulations set by the government, ensuring that buildings are designed not to collapse within 100 years and not to be damaged within 10 years, even in the event of an earthquake. Additionally, these buildings are constructed with foundations that include rubber containing a special fluid capable of absorbing seismic forces. According to the Basic Disaster Management Law established more than half a century ago, the Japanese government has put in place a necessary backup system to prepare for natural disasters. Every household is equipped with a basic emergency kit for disaster situations. Each household is required to stock essential emergency supplies, known as a disaster prevention kit, which includes a flashlight, medicine, masks, ropes, and enough food to sustain the family for 3 days to a week. Each locality must establish its own emergency response centers equipped with helmets, tents, blankets, generators, flashlights, and food to promptly meet the essential needs of the population during an emergency.
まだ来てるよな。まだ来てるよ。大丈夫ここ？
も